morning. Another weekend has come and gone. It is Tuesday, I almost said Monday. It is Tuesday, September 5th, 2017. The time is 7:20 a.m. Doing a little more hustling this morning than usual. I didn't get up any later, but it was just a slower process getting out the door this morning. Neither Mary Jane nor myself has felt well for a couple days. Just colds, just common colds, but it's still not fun. As you can hear in my voice, it's all up here in my nose. Grossness. I'm feeling a lot better. My throat isn't as gross as it was, and I can owe that to a scene from Smallville. I've been rewatching the series from the CW back in the day, and in the most recent episode I watched in season 6, Clark has just discovered his super breath through sneezing, and Lois, who happens to be living with him at the time, or no, I take that back, she is Martha Kent's chief advisor, or whatever you want to call it, in the Senate, and so she spends a lot of time in the Kent house. Clark is sniffly and sneezy, and Lois suggests honey with a little bit of cayenne pepper. So I Googled it, and one of the first hits that came up was the mother of all cures, and I was like, okay, worth a shot. So I took some cranberry juice, heated it up in the microwave, mixed in some of the world's best honey from right here in our local area. It's like legit the world's best honey. It's got the award and everything. And a few sprinkles of cayenne pepper. And right before I went to bed last night, and I'll tell you what, I felt good. Not great, not completely better, but I felt good. So I had a little bit this morning before I left the house again. I have no idea what it's going to do to my digestive system. We will find out in a couple hours. But yeah, it works. So if you're suffering from a head cold, honey and cayenne pepper. I don't know why it works, but it does. The other thing that I've been doing lately that's a bit nostalgic, or a kind of a ghost from the past, as it were, is rereading the Harry Potter series. I am on the 6th book. It's kind of ironic that I'm in the 6th season of Smallville and on the 6th book of Harry Potter at the same time. But something stood out to me that's never stood out to me before in that book, and it's the word prophet/prophecy. If you've read the series, you know that in the 5th book, spoilers ahead, by the way, for anybody that hasn't been around for the last 12 years. In the 5th book, Harry and his friends make it to the Hall of Prophecy at the Ministry of Magic, where they find the prediction made by Professor Trelawney about Harry being the only person that can defeat Dumbledore. I still think it's Neville, hashtag Team Neville, but that's a topic for another day. Harry, where was I? Oh, they find the prophecy, which is in all aspects of the word a prediction, a telling of the future. And not just that, but by using the word prophecy, you're alluding to the fact that it's true. So the person that makes it is therefore a prophet, depicting the future for somebody else. And sorry. You know, they go through their whole thing of the prophecy breaks, they never hear it, and then Dumbledore has to tell Harry what it is in person. So we pick it up in the 6th book, and Harry is waiting in his bedroom at the Dursleys for Dumbledore to come and collect him to take him to the Weasley house. And in the scene that the author is describing, there's a bunch of headlines from the Daily Prophet, which is the Wizarding newspaper. I have two issues now that I've never really thought of before. One, the word prophet is used in the title. And I get it. It's like one of those kitschy newspaper titles that doesn't really mean anything for the newspaper. But this is a Wizarding newspaper, so there has to be a meaning somewhere. And the second is the sheer fact that there have to be multiples of these. We'll start with the first one. The use of the word prophet signifies that they are not doing what they're saying they're doing. Here's what I mean. Prophets predict the future. So really, if this paper is going to call themselves the Daily Prophet, shouldn't they be talking about tomorrow's news? Shouldn't everybody in the Wizarding community already be aware of what's going to happen? Think about it. The Daily Prophet. We are, by saying that, they're saying we are telling you every day something that's going to happen in the future. But they're not. Because as we've seen time and time again, they don't predict anything. They tell stories incorrectly that are already from the past. They retell the same old thing over and over again in a different way to try to paint themselves in a better light. So they're not prophets. The second issue is probably a little bit more standout-ish. Why in the world does this Wizarding newspaper feel the need to reproduce copies every single day, other than to make money? The only reason they're reproducing papers every day is to make money. Because, as wizards, they should be able to change the previous printing. Like, you should be able to buy one Daily Prophet and it be updated every day. Like, I don't know, Facebook. Let's think about this one. They have portraits of people that are long dead that still interact and travel from portrait to portrait. Meanwhile, their body or their face, or whatever portion of them is in the picture, leaves one and goes to the other. So they have the ability to paint something that can essentially delete itself and place itself in another spot. Hashtag copy paste. Cut and paste, I guess, would be more accurate. Why then? And then even in the newspapers, they have moving pictures. I forget what the line was that I read last night, but it is what triggered this thought that, hold on, why can't the same paper be used and just like left in the kitchen or on the dining room table or wherever, and every day it's got the news stories? And my only thought is, it could be one of two things. One, people want to be able to look back at the old stories, which I think that should be able to be possible anyway. And two, they want to make money. Those are my thoughts. I'm still having trouble breathing and talking, so I'll see you this afternoon. Bye-bye.